Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Pearson. Welcome to this week's vlog about social justice and multicultural counseling. We have a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it, so let's jump right in. Alrighty, up first we have discussed how your understanding of multicultural counseling and advocacy is important in the counseling profession. So I'm going to reference Mike Shook's Thoughtful Counselor podcast that we had to listen to and say that that's important because if you're counseling to a marginalized group or a group that feels marginalized, that feeling of marginalization could be important in helping with their underlying issue. It could be connected, and if they're not comfortable talking to you about it, then they're not going to get help. The example was used that Mike Shook's guest, Mr. Sidney, had a client who was gay and struggled with social anxiety, and the client said that the two were definitely connected. So I think that you have to be culturally aware of what your client's needs are, and you have to be able to bridge that gap if it's necessary, because sometimes it's an issue, sometimes it's not, or sometimes it's connected, sometimes it's not, but you have to be able to bridge that gap to help the client better. Up next is a Bible verse or a spiritual quote about social justice. I'm going to use, it's actually in our readings for this week, John chapter 4 verses 1 through 42, the story of Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well. I'm not going to read it verbatim because that would take much too long, but in short, Jesus was a Hebrew man, the woman was a Samaritan, and the Hebrews and the Samaritans at the time did not get along, to say the least, and Jesus was there talking to her, and because he broke that social barrier and talked to the Samaritan woman, she got saved, and many of the people in the Samaritan village got saved, and that's what breaking a social barrier looks like, and that's the power that it can have. Next is a step you will take to show social justice with your clients, and cultural humility with clients. Sorry, I had to double check that. And that is to treat all the clients as equals regardless of their race, their sexual preference, whatever it may be. Treat them as equal human beings, because the ground is level at the foot of the cross. We are all sinners, we are all God's creation, and we should love each other regardless of those things and treat each other as equals regardless of those things. It's important to be aware of them, but don't let it affect how you treat someone. And finally, discuss an action you will take to advocate for social justice in client populations. So I think that with that, I'm going to use the tools that I have. I have a background in video editing and podcasting from my bachelor's degree. Goodness gracious, I cannot talk tonight, guys. I'm sorry. But using those skills and those tools that I have from the past, the platforms that God has given me, to advocate for social justice for client populations and to help others and to be a force of good in the world. And that's this week's video. Thank you for watching. Look forward to hearing your thoughts on it. See you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.